Hey guys, it's Wengie. What's up? And hugs! So today I sat down and I'm supposed to be editing a routine video for you guys. And I pretty much edited the first, I would say 20%, 10% even of the video. And I just couldn't do anything anymore. Like I literally just froze, paralyzed. I just couldn't get anything done. And I used to be able to power through and edit a whole video. It isn't hard. Like I know exactly what to do. There's nothing I needed to learn to edit this video. It should almost be on autopilot, but I just couldn't muster myself to do it. And it just is really confusing for me. There was a lot of symptoms that I was suffering that I realized were getting in the way. I think the thing that really kind of started making me think that something was wrong with me was things like feeling numb. Things that I used to find happiness in, passion in, no longer felt anything. You start to feel really exhausted and tired for no reason. And not only that is like I felt kind of lifeless, I guess. Things that used to be exciting for me no longer were, or I would have kind of little bursts of where I'm excited to do something, but when I sit down, I just feel super overwhelmed and I just can't do it. Even as something as simple as like filming a TikTok, which used to not take me that amount of time, and I used to be able to film, quite a few a day. It'd be quite enjoyable for me. I just couldn't do it. And then when it started getting in the way of me kind of living my life, I would say I would be fighting a lot more with, people in my life, and I would get emotional so quickly and just feel overwhelmed because I couldn't explain why simple things were so hard to me. Growing up, I was a very high achieving person. I could take on a huge workload and I would feel fine. I would have the energy. Mentally and emotionally, I could handle that. There's little Theo playing with my little streamers. I think that's when I realized, oh my gosh, I think I am actually fully burnt out. Not just in the I'm tired and I need a break way, but I think it is really affecting my mental health and my life right now. I think the thing that confused me the most about this burnout situation is it's not the time that's an issue. Like most people would think you would burn out because you don't have enough time to do everything that you want to do, but it's not that. I have plenty of time to do what I need to do. I just can't get myself to do it when the time comes. And I would just sit there, distract myself, feel kind of unmotivated. And I also think this is super important to talk about because you can definitely prevent burnout from happening if you know that it is. I'm just gonna Google burnout and kind of read these symptoms for you guys. So according to Google, the consequences and symptoms of burnout can be excessive stress, which I have felt, fatigue, which I have felt, insomnia. This is not so much an issue because I do take a melatonin kind of relaxant before I sleep. I used to experience this a lot. Sadness, anger, or irritability, I do get that more often. Alcohol or substance misuse, I don't really drink alcohol. Heart disease, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. So let's hope that I'm not getting type 2 diabetes from this. What I do really connect with is the more emotional signs and symptoms of burnout, which are listed as sense of failure and self-doubt, feeling of being helpless, trapped, and defeated, detachment, feeling alone in the world, loss of motivation, increasingly cynical and negative outlook, decreased satisfaction, and sense of accomplishment. I honestly have felt pretty much every single one of these emotional symptoms of burnout. I think Theo is chewing on my streamers. Theo, are you chewing on them? Literally all of this I have felt. Recently, definitely have been doubting my abilities as a creator, my abilities as someone running a company, but basically my abilities in general. And it doesn't help because it's like this cycle where you feel hopeless and it leads to more demotivation. And I think the negative part is because you feel so doubtful of yourself and so helpless, you tend to lean on the people around you to give you validation, sometimes in an unhealthy amount. And I think that's when it becomes hard on people around you as well as yourself. I tend to get upset if I don't get that validation. First reaction for me is to blame other people for being not as supportive, but then when you really kind of introspect, you kind of realize, hey, maybe it's because I've lost this confidence in myself that I honestly used to have. I used to have so much confidence in my abilities. That's kind of how I got here. So now to be sitting here and feeling like a completely different person after I have achieved my success, it feels really, really strange to me. It took me a long time to realize that maybe it isn't me, but maybe something is wrong. My first reaction to when I was starting to feel kind of helpless, useless, kind of demotivated was actually to do more and to start more things. So I started coming up with a bunch of different ideas. What if I start this channel? What if I make this kind of content? Oh, I'm gonna go pivot into reaction content. And I would get so caught up thinking that is the answer to my situation that I got, my boyfriend to help paint this whole wall white because I needed it to film a new type of content. And he did it, and we spent the whole night painting. Well, he painted it, and I was really, really thankful for the help. But the most hard thing about this situation is after it was painted, after it was ready, I just couldn't. I have not made a single video in that new room with the new paint, and it's been a month at least, and it's so easy. I filmed so much reaction content before. It's setting up the camera on a tripod, turning it on, finding a couple of videos to watch, and just be myself. And that was too hard. The lighting is sitting there, the camera, the tripod is sitting there, everything is ready, I have all the equipment. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I just felt overwhelmed, I felt lost, I felt hopeless, I felt untalented, I felt like I just couldn't. The other thing that has happened that I realized was healthy for me is I felt so much pressure keeping my team employed throughout this whole mess. I've hired 2 team members, an editor and a producer, and they mainly work on the Munchkin channel, which is my cat channel. Something happened to that. I'll kind of tell you guys a bit later about that. I'm not ready to share that right now. But basically, I had to kind of give them more work to do. And because I felt so burnt out and hopeless, at first I filmed a whole bunch of content for them to work on and edit and things like that. But I felt too much pressure, and a lot of those videos are sitting there unedited. And I just felt too much pressure to have those people depend on me that I had to let them go last month. So that happened. And, I've been kind of working my way through that. I don't enjoy that process. At this time of my life, feeling so burnt out, the best thing to do is to get rid of all stresses for me to recover. I've heard on some videos on YouTube that it could take a long time for someone to recover from burnout. So I'm just trying to de-stress, but also trying to work at the same time. This video is not supposed to give you a solution because I don't have one. I should see a professional for this, but I just kind of want to share the experience and some of the stories that has occurred to me. So I have been spending time trying to focus on things I still enjoy, which is making music. And I think what people don't realize about this is it's so easy to go into my comments and tell me, take care of yourself, Wengie, don't worry about uploading and things like that. And it's super sweet of you. And, I thank you guys so much for being there, supportive, caring, and supporting me through this. But it's kind of like I put this on myself. Like, I want myself to be working like I used to work. I want myself to be as motivated as I used to be. I want myself to be achieving things that I used to achieve so easily. And it's just not happening. But it's gotten to the point now where I just feel like, wow, like trying to push through this is not going to help. I'm trying to get into healthier habits. I'm trying to tell myself to do less things, and I'm just trying to get my fire back, guys. It's so weird, but to do what I do, to be a creator, you need to fuel your own fire because no one else is gonna tell you that you need to do this. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, and that makes it even more overwhelming and confusing at the same time. So I think that's why creator burnout is so hard, because we are our own bosses and we can literally just not do it. But that puts you in a vicious cycle of feeling even more useless and being even more demotivated and being disappointed with yourself even more because you're just looking at yourself flailing and not doing anything. And that's hard, guys. It's so hard to go through. Hope that I've shared with you today will help you eventually if you're not burnt out, but wanted to let you guys know what's going on. And if you guys like these sit downs, which I've gotten feedback that a lot of you guys do enjoy these, I will do more. Love you guys so much. Don't forget to stream my music on Spotify and watch my music videos on my music channel, and I'll see you guys next week with another topic. Bye guys, love you. Oh, ow, Theo's asleep. Let me show you. He got tired of chewing on my stuff.